Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Online Global Crafters 12 Weeks of Christmas, week number 10. Ooh, 10, we're getting closer all the time. This is my last week. Next week, we will have a project from Terry Hartley, who's a demonstrator in the United States. And then the very last week, the 12th week, will be a project from Sarah Bullen, who is a demonstrator in Australia. But this week, week number 10, is my week, and I'm Connie Douglas. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada, and you can find me at Great Stamping with Connie. And the three of us have been bringing you the 12 weeks of Christmas as our little thank you for being subscribers to our mailing list. We really appreciate the fact that you are on our mailing list, that you get our emails each week, and we love sharing what we do. We love crafting with you, and we hope that you've enjoyed these projects over the past, 10 weeks so far. But it's my last day, so I have to kind of talk like we're at the end. We're not at the end yet. There's still more, but we are getting closer, aren't we? Let's get to some crafting. Today, I have a 3D project for you. I'm hoping your Christmas cards are done, especially if you're mailing them. If you're hand delivering them, there's still time. But I thought we would move on to some packaging for today. And so I have this little bag, which is awesome for filling with treats to put at a table. You could put small gifts in it. My kids always tell me that money fits in almost any container. So you could put money in here. You could put a gift card in here, although we have done gift card holders. So you have other ways for those. But certainly you could put little candies in there, or short candles. Oh, sometimes words are tough. Little soaps, little all sorts of little gifts could go in here, or as I say, little sweets, and then they could you could use these to decorate your table over the holidays. Or if you're going out somewhere and you want to just take a little gift for the hostess, awesome way to do it. So let's get to it. In your kit, if you ordered the 12 Weeks of Christmas kit, you will have a piece of cardstock, and this one has markings on it for where we're going to cut in a moment, but a piece of real red cardstock that is scored and ready to go. You will have a piece of basic white that you can put your sentiment on. You will have a number of tree pieces, 4 to be exact, 4 tree pieces to make these layers. You will have a trunk or a base for your tree, a star for your tree, and some hard to see, red on red. There we go. Some decorations for your tree. There seems to be an awful lot here. I may have some extras in this package, but we're going to use 4, so we don't need too many. We have 1 string for each layer. And you may be wondering why we didn't put the adhesive sheets on these to make these into stickers. You can do that when you are cutting them on your own, and it's awesome to have these as stickers. You can just pull the backing off and stick them right onto your tree. But what I found when I tried it, cutting them for the kits, was that as I was gathering my pieces and moving things around, the backs were falling off because it is so very tiny, and then things were sticking together. And I thought, well, that's probably worse than having to dab a little bit of glue onto those. So we did not use adhesive sheets on the strings of decorations, but you could if you were cutting this yourself to make extras. So here is our cardstock, and you will notice that there are 2 sections that are medium, 2 that are wide, and 1 that is quite narrow. I have the one that is most narrow on the right-hand side. Okay, so I've got narrow, wide, medium, wide, medium. You want to have your cardstock that way, just so you cut off the right pieces and not the ones you shouldn't. I have marked with an X all the pieces that you should cut off. So this is one large cut, and this is a cut, and you can see that I have done those here already. Okay, and then I was just going to finish cutting the bottom. So this bottom corner is going to come right off. So I'm just going to cut straight up this score line. And then I am going to cut here and take that piece out. And then I'm going to cut straight up this score line. This is going to make the bottom of my box. Is it? Oh, it is, but I think that I want it to be, I want this one. Okay, so I am actually going to cut, I think my picture is a little bit off, but I'm going to cut a little bit of a pie here, a notch, a V, just so that this all comes together nicely. And these smaller tabs, you definitely want to cut with a notch, just so that they don't take up quite as much space and your corners don't get really fat. This piece, this second piece, I am going to cut straight up. Okay, and if you did it the other way, it's not the end of the world. I like to have one piece cut square so that my bottom looks nice and square. But let's be real, it's the bottom. If you've got candies or gifts inside, nobody's looking at the bottom of a plain bag. They're looking at what's inside. So even if you did have some notches on the bottom, not the end of the world. Okay, let's get all of these things out of the way, and we will put this guy together. Now, I always recommend, and I was supposed to get out, Tear and Tape when you are doing 3D projects. It's very strong adhesive, and that's what you want when you are doing something like this. And there's not much on this roll, so I hope I don't run out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to put Tear and Tape onto this small piece. Okay. And I'm going to come right near the fold line here so that it is closed right to my edge. And because this is, I can't really, oh, there's a few rounds there. I think we'll be okay. I'm going to put another strip here, just so there's no flaps on the inside that are wiggling and jiggling or anything. Okay. And then I find, and it's entirely up to you, but I find it easiest if I take your pick tool and just kind of wiggle it at the end here. It tends to loosen this paper, except when you're on camera, of course. It never works as easily. There we go. And it's very easy to get the protective covering off. There we go. And then you're just going to fold in the center and let this come right flat down, and you will have a perfect seam there. Okay, much easier than trying to hold it in your hand and wiggle and jiggle and do one way or the other way. Okay, then we are going to ultimately fold all of these in, and this square one will be what is on last. Okay, so it's on the outside. So I want to put there, flatten it. It's easier. I'm going to put some Tear and Tape on this edge so that it's stuck down right at the very edge of my box. And then these pieces, I like to just put a little bit along each piece. And I usually just sort of put it on almost random so that it sort of sticks in different places. Okay? And it's really just to kind of secure everything so you don't get any odd bumps in your box or anything. This one, if it goes down, this, if we will go, we're going to have glue here. So I'm going to just put this these are going to stick down. I'm going to put this, no. The adhesive on the inside flaps here is less crucial than you may think. Ultimately, you need something sticky on the last flap. I just do these to kind of hold in place. So you can see I've got these two coming down, and this one is going to hold this one in place, and then this is going to hold this in place. I've got adhesive here right across the whole thing, and then there will be adhesive here all together. The final. Now, the only tricky part here is that as you start to take these pieces off, they of course will be sticky. So you may have to do a little bit of this in your hands just so you don't set it down. Or if you are more comfortable working flat, we have this awesome, well, sometimes we have, except when your desk is a mess. We have an awesome tool known as a silicone mat. Okay, and this is just a silicone sheet that will not cause problems if you have sticky stuff sitting on it. I'll be able to lift this off. Notice that I turned this down, so it does stick just a little bit to the silicone sheet, but I can still lift it off. But you see, I should hold this one the other way because now this has kind of stuck together. Okay, but we've saved it. I think a little bit going on there. I'm just going to run in here with just a little bit of tape runner. Okay, now we're just going to fold this, and you just want to be trying to hold it square, as square as you can. You will see as you get your final piece down where square is exactly. And then what I like to do is just sort of press it onto itself and bring in my bone folder and just give it a bit of a rub on the inside to make sure everything is sticking to itself. Okay, and then from there you want to just push in the center and pinch the top together. Okay, and then this is going to fold over to create my top. Okay, just like so. But we do need a sentiment. Well, we don't have to, but we want to. I want to. Okay, so let's move on to that and let's make our decoration. So you should have 4 pieces of tree in 2 different colors, and you just want to take your bone folder. You can kind of feel the front and the back on the die cuts when you cut these. So I am just curling this towards the front. Use my bone folder, just curl it up a little bit just to give it a little bit of texture. I'm going to do that with all 4 of these. Then I'm going to use some liquid glue and put them together. Now I don't want to glue the whole tree piece because then it defeats the purpose of curling them and creating that dimension. So these will all fit one on top of the other, giving your tree some thickness and dimension, but also with that little curve So you just want to line up each layer. This is the Granny Apple Green and Shaded Spruce. I don't know that I mentioned that initially, but that's what color cards these pieces of cardstock are. And they're great just for creating variations. Christmas tree. I love these two colors too. That lined up. Just like that. There we go. I'm just going to give it a good press. And then you can see we still have a little bit of lift on each of these layers. And you can curve them up more if you wish, or leave them a little bit lower. And then I'm going to come in with my strings of decorations. Some of them will be a little bit longer than you need, so we can just trim it at the end. So you just want to get your liquid glue. I'll hold this up a little bit. Coming out a little bit. You have to be patient here. There we go. And just a couple little dabs on here. You can kind of string it along. There. So just a little bit of glue along with. Is that, there we go. Okay. This glue is very sticky. It's a wonderful adhesive, so you don't need a whole lot. Plus, this is really tiny, so and then we'll just trim those edges off once we get all these on. Yes. Okay. I seem to have an extra long piece. There's another. You can bring in my silicone mat again and just do all of these. And I'll sweep it. The other thing you can do, if you wish, is you can put some glue right onto your silicone mat here, and then use a Q-tip or a sponge or a toothpick or anything along those lines to pick up the glue and just dab it onto your string. It's a little tricky. Okay, let's let's put it right onto the tree. Let's not do them all at once. Oops. No. Some people use tweezers for this type of work. I've never really gotten comfortable with them. But if you like to use tweezers to hold these small pieces, by all means, go for it. We all sort of develop our own crafting technique and style as we go. And I never really, that was a little short. Oh, so maybe these were different things. Okay, well, we have these pieces. There we go. And then I am just going to put the lid on the glue, and we'll come in and trim these guys because they are obviously longer. And then you have your decorated Christmas tree, but of course we need a star and we should have a base, so we will add those. So the star, I'm going to have it stick up over top of my tree a little bit. So just sort of plan that out, and if you're going to have yours sticking up over the top, don't put the glue to the very top of your star, or you will have glue exposed. When you start using your star that goes above my tree. Maybe we'll see if I get my fingers out of the way. There we go. So I didn't put glue on the very top there, and so that's okay. And then this bottom piece, I want to be careful just to put my glue on the very top. Just going to set my tree onto it, just like that. Okay, there we go. Now, on this one, I have used the Merry Christmas sentiment from the Brightest Glow stamp set. Merry Christmas. But you can use any sentiment you wish. You could use one from this set or something else in your set, whatever you like. Just a little greeting that you want to add. And I have done this one with gold embossing. Okay, which, can you see the shine there? You can kind of see that it's shiny. It is embossed with gold. If you do not have a heat tool and embossing powder, well, you should get one. Put it on your Christmas list. Tell your family to get in touch with one of us, depending on which country you're watching from, and have them order you a heat tool and some embossing powder, because it is magic and it's fun. If you have never done it, it's not difficult. You need Versamark ink, you need embossing powder, and you need a heat tool. And it is truly magic. It's wonderful. But if you don't have that, in the meantime, you could just use ink. So I'm just using Real Red ink here and stamping my Merry Christmas. Okay. And this will just go right onto here. This is cut to fit. Okay. So I'm just going to put some tape runner to here. This right. Whoopsie. Attempt to put this right onto my flap. Don't flip it over. Okay. And then the tree we're going to put on with dimensionals. Okay, so you will see, can you see here that once we reach sort of the bend in the box, the tree is floating. You see that? So it's not, so there's no dimensionals at the top, but I did put a good number down low because I didn't want it to pop off or fall off. And when you have bags or things that are going to have a lot of movement as you fill them and open them and close them and that sort of thing, you want to make sure things are stuck down really well. So that's why I have used so many dimensionals, probably more than I need, but I just, as I say, when it's a bag or a box or something that is going to have movement, I want to make sure that everything stays where it's supposed to stay over time, even with bending and folding and that sort of thing. And then you want to put this on quite close to the bottom. Okay. So, and you can see here, that's just going to sit above there. This is not. There we go. Okay, and then to close it, you could use another dimensional. You could just glue it. You could use any sort of adhesive, or you could put a piece of Velcro on, and then you can open it and close it. So that's what I'm going to do. The Velcro that I have, you can see Velcro on this one. This Velcro is self-adhesive. Is that what you're saying? Oh, I should have. Sorry, I put that's the bottom. So what you want to do, and I don't know that it matters where you put the fuzzy part, but I'm putting the fuzzy part on the top. But put your top piece on first, because it's very obvious where you want it. If you want it just a little bit down from the top. So if you put that on there, and then I'm going to attach my hooks piece to the fuzz. Okay, and then I am just going to close my bag. Okay, and then it will be in the right place. And you don't have to worry about how you line things up. It will line itself up, and then just open it. Okay, clearly, no one will see that when it's closed. So there you go. So there is one with the heat embossing, and there it is with the real red stamping. And that is today's project. I hope you like that. They are fun little bags, and if you do use something like Velcro, you can open and close them and reuse them over and over. Or you can make new ones next year. That's always fun. Anyway, that is our project for week 10. I hope you like it, and I do hope you are enjoying our 12 weeks of Christmas. Thank you so much for subscribing to our email list. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.